And let's see what YouTube has to say about this. And it's perfect. Restarting my computer fixed whatever the problem was. Yay.
Alright then.
Well, let's wait for an audience to show up. Let's wait for Joe to show up. How have you been, Ely?
Fine.
Okay. How's
I'm
Luna?
alright.
She's fine. She's not around. She's sleeping on the bed.
Just like I already like I posted like the first link, and so I gotta have to post the second and link, and like it's just quickly writing up something to like say, and it is the Patron show. But at least I can like delete the original post that I made and with the new post as well too, and I'll just like say that and just like posts. So yeah, it is. Hold on. Again, now that we're streaming to that event. Unfortunately, that's the problem with like YouTube streaming as it were too. You have to like it's not like a YouTube streaming page that you can point to as were too. Oh wait, here's a good thing I can do. I can then like in the original live chat, I'll say, hey, go.
Hello.
The show. Hello.
Oh, dang it.
I can no longer chat in that event. That's okay. That's fine. That worked out. That means that like hopefully people will come here as I will share that link that I made. All right. So and
so on this day 2,000 years ago, like Jesus was murdered for loving Mary Magdalene or something.
Really?
Valentine's Day.
Oh. That's in. That's in a few days from now, actually.
Yes.
I don't remember a whole lot about the that particular saint. We didn't go.
I think
into
Christians
that
were forbidden from
him.
getting married or something, and then there's supposed to have been a persecution.
Like there were a bunch that our catechism class went into, but that one, I feel like he's a super minor saint, and just the holiday got big because of its commercial realities.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Because of course, with everything with like capitalism as well too. Once you like found a market, as it were, then like yeah, you can do it. It's just this Alchemy Take Two.
I saw someone call it Single Awareness Day.
That's good. That's good.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I approve of that. So welcome to the Alchemy Bench. It's the second. It is the Hand Egg Champion Edition of Such Just Alchemy because apparently there's a big sporting event going on right now. But like,
there are like at least 7 good people out there who like football.
yes, and we're talking about like American football, so the Hand Egg Edition, not like the football that the rest of the world could play. Which, to be fair, they are actually using their feet with a ball as well too. Well, it's just like our version is just a bastardized version of rugby, honestly.
Yeah. Tribal elders and migrant miners are competing over a superb owl.
That's right. So it's the 49ers and the Chiefs. And apparently
the thing about the 49ers is that that's actually an incredibly awful time. But it did give us Zorro. Who was actually based on a real person. Whose wife may or may not have survived the horrible events that led him to become a bandit there in California.
I see.
Okay.
White supremacy is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have to get the coffee. I made it.
Okay.
I made it.
No problem.
Take your time.
I'm sure that all of you know the importance of coffee, especially like on Sunday morning, as it were. And if there's no good to make the coffee if you don't also drink it, and also you best to kind of drink it fresh.
Well, I mean, I think coffee is best If you have half the mug, then you forget it and leave it somewhere, and then you come back and it's really cold, and you take a sip, and then you hate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to experience 11:15 a.m.
Oh. Yeah, I don't do coffee except for days where I work AMs now. I do like I forget what they're called. Like those quasi energy drinks, but they're no
Kickstart?
calorie things.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. I don't know.
The gas station 5-hour energy?
Not exactly. The what do you call it? The
Methamphetamines.
The White Claw versions of those.
Rocco?
I know they're
Four
I know
Loco.
they're not
You're
all-
drinking Four Loco at work. Okay, I get it.
No. Those are malt beverages. This word too. So, I mean, there's a lot. So a non-energy drink that is like, so it's not carbonated, I guess. And
No,
but
he
it's
said
like-
seltzer.
No, these are carbonated. They're essentially natural caffeine carbonated waters.
I would still call them energy drinks then. Because, like, I don't know. But then, again, I guess that's a great question. As regards to, like, another thing to add to the list of, like, what we will debate of, like, what is or what is not, blah, blah, blah. And what is an energy drink? What to you constitutes an energy drink? And to me, it's just, like, I guess it's, like, it was carbonated and in the can. But then again, I have all these like gamer sleps and like G Fuel and like their powder, and I mix them with water. I can mix them with seltzer water, but if you're shaking up seltzer water, that's not good. Or it will flatten the bubbles in the seltzer water. But like I would like just like I call those energy drinks as well too. I guess like then in that case, it's just like. I don't know. I guess I'm very generic with energy drinks. If I'm considering G Fuel in powder form as energy drinks, actually, there's actually a significant difference between if you get like the same flavor in the can form G Fuel, like the Sonic Rings, which is a peak drink flavor, versus like the Sonic Ring flavor G Fuel in the powder form. There's quite a bit of a difference actually. One thing is like the can version, it's clear. There's no food coloring whatsoever. And obviously for like the powder version, they always add some food coloring to it. It's just one of those minor differences, but like. Hey, yeah. So I guess energy drinks just anything that like says it gives you energy, and yet it's like, but then coffee would also give you energy.
Yeah.
I guess like it would be like caffeine and then other stuff. But then what's the other stuff? B vitamins. You have to delineate that.
Sugar.
I mean,
Sugar,
Methamphetamines.
when it comes right down to it, it's like you can't be too essentialist on it. When you go to the edges and fringes of any categorization, it collapses,
True.
including things like gender.
Yes, exactly.
No, I'm pretty sure gender is perfectly clear. There's zeros and there's ones.
I'm if
Gene
there are.
does not exist and cannot hurt you.
So yeah, so welcome in everyone. I think I already said that. Let's go around the room and like and ask how is everyone? John Brockman, how are you?
7. I'm doing 7.
Joe
I'm
McClure?
doing 7. I'm actually pretty good. Just listen to a bunch of really fun. I finally found out how to invert the order on the iHeartRadio app. Apparently, it was just a button I kept missing. So I'm finally listening to the first behind the backlog, as opposed to like going through them backwards and like scrolling through the entirety of it, because it goes in a downward division and it's like put closest to latest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I just listened to the non-Nazi bastards that helped the rise of the Nazi Party, and
You mean the
Oh,
Catholic
yeah.
Church?
this was they put this out in 2018, and like so much of the stuff is like yeah, that's how all of this is happening. That is
A bunch of like a bunch of people just like allow it to like happen. And it is interesting because like there was like one person who did not know that like Hitler would become Hitler and was like saving his life as a way to prevent him from killing himself as well too. So it's kind of like I can't say that that person's a bastard because it's like you would not. I would. We don't have the time travel of capability.
They're accidentally retroactively a bastard.
Yeah, there's
Unless they're a
literally,
cop.
there's literally this lady that like struggled and pulled the gun out of Hitler's hand when he was going to kill himself after being arrested for the putsch.
Yeah.
Or while being arrested, I forget.
Yeah. But no, like the judge that like just allowed Hitler to speak and just have a podium and something like that, and then just like gave him a slap on the wrist of like house imprisonment in a castle with his friends, and where he was able to write Mein Kampf, and also the final bastard in that video of Joseph Stalin, who just like told the Communist Party of Germany to just like don't work with the liberals as a word that will like betray you, and it's just like, and so the communists and the like liberals did not work together to like fight electorally to fight against like the fascists, and yet
Well, I mean, the fact is that the liberals were already working with the fascists.
there's that, yes. But yeah, it's just like it's so interesting to have so many bastards that like help like Hitler rise to power. Sometimes inadvertently, or something, and most of it's inadvertently. But it's just like, come on, just like call him out on his bullshit as well, which is we have what we have to like do for Trump as well, fortunately. And
Yeah, just a mix of inadvertently helping and helping on purpose, but assuming that this is just another thing we can control.
yeah, that's a big thing. It's like assuming that you can control it. Let's see, a couple of more Facebook groups, and then like I'm done sharing. And as we're, Ely, how are you doing?
I am fine. My mother just had a medical scare.
Ooh.
Oh.
But I'm really, really grateful for the Danish healthcare system. Because she went to her doctor, and the doctor gave her like a general check over and discovered that her blood pressure was like dangerously high. Like, so that was, I was really happy that they found that out, and also it explains so many things. I was afraid she was about to go like, she was about to she was developing Alzheimer's or something.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I remember one time I checked one at work and it was like 220 over like 140. I just kind of looked at it like, okay, I'm gonna try this again to make sure the machine's not messed up, because I don't know how you're not dead otherwise. That is entirely too high.
Yeah. It's kind of like the old joke of like Marx, Groucho Marx. It would say, "This man's dead, and my watch has stopped."
Yeah.
And am I doing all right? I finally have a Sunday off. I'm finally not at work on Sundays, and because work is interesting. I don't know how much of the boring details I wanted to go into, but like this, well, also the reason why I was not available like last Sunday to do just Alchemy. I don't think I can sneak away for like 90 minutes in order to like be in the podcast as well, or YouTube live stream. It's because like we were switching over from our computer system, our tracking system, from old antiquated like almost DOS based system of Q over to like Epicor, and it means like it's a lot of work because like especially since like we have a bunch of like job tickets that like already printed, and then we have to like match them with the current ones, the new Epicor ones. We kind of like did that all backwards. It just like started printing out them randomly. Should just like focus on the ones that like we actually need to ship tomorrow. And also I need to be there in case like there needs to be recounts, because like of course switching over from one computer system to another computer system, grab to count everything again.
Yay.
Awesome.
And so I was there to like in case it like needs to be like any like double checks or verification or recounts, and so yeah, and now it's just like, okay, how do I do my job again? Because like it's it's different in this whole new system. I have to like learn how to use this system in order to do my job, and I have to know how this system works. And it's like, it feels like we're almost like a startup business again because like we have no. I don't know if anyone has a clear idea of what they're doing except for the people that like are like responsible for the switch over to Epicor, and sometimes even they don't know like all the ins and outs of the program. And so yeah, I just like have to figure out like how to do things, and I had to like train my coworker on how to do things as well too. So that's interesting. Doesn't still doesn't mean like no long days and long hours and so with that because I came in yesterday. So yeah, and hopefully it calms down now and just like we'll get the feel for things. And then the weekend before last, I managed to like they come on to Steve Shaw's like program as well to the Patron hangout. But that's because like it was the standard like nope, they have to get a bunch of things and they just kind of like wanted to get get a lot of things like out the door before the switchover happens because they were closing the plant for like the 1st and 2nd of February. But just because we're closing the plant for the 1st and 2nd of February doesn't mean production stops. No, we try to like maintain the same level of production and shipments as it were, as if we weren't closed on those 2 days. And so whatever was supposed to ship out on the 2nd and the 1st either gets like put off to be the 5th or later, or it's shipped out on the 31st or the 30th. And that means I have to get a lot of things and like to get to fulfill those like shipments, and it's like no, slow things down, which finally happened inadvertently. But yeah, that's me.
That's very good. I think the one thing I'd change is I would have put a prop hoverboard underneath the Grogu.
So anyway,
So, what's going on this week in the wide world of stuff? Apart from, let's see. No, that was months ago.
I just see a Facebook story from the White House.
Oh,
I
dear.
don't know if I want to click on it to watch it. It's Joe Biden, who's pro-genocide, remember, and like this. I don't think I want to see a Joe Biden meme endorsed by the White House right now. Maybe it's him like preparing for watching the football game. I guess that'd be like one thing that like the White House would do. See, I just like you. I'm rooting for so and so.
I saw this. It was this post on Twitter where it was this conservative site that had a picture of the Queen of England, and the stress of Meghan Markle and Harry killed the Queen before her time.
Before her, wasn't she like 100 years old?
It's just like, what won't they blame her for?
Yeah. I honestly think that like just like Liz Truss being the new prime minister and the Queen meeting her, and it's just like, okay, yeah, this is the new prime minister of like the UK. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't think Liz Truss washed her hands before saying hello to the Queen.
I think the Queen was just old and racist. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. I mean, they already had the coffin like prepared for Prince Philip. It was just a matter of time. We're just waiting for this finally to be used. I mean, yeah. Then speaking of the royal family, the monarchy, which Mentor's not here in the live chat right now, I bet he has opinions on the monarchy. I'm sure he does.
They could no longer weekend at Bernie's Prince Philip anymore.
Oh my goodness.
But now the King Chuck, he has cancer. So this is the only time I am actually rooting for cancer to like make the world better. Yeah, I like the royal family can definitely be like less racist if like most of them, especially the racist ones, just die off. I'm just King Truck. You're just like guilty by association. I'm just like presuming that you're an old white man. That like there's definitely somebody racist in you.
Which ones aren't racist though?
That's a good question.
I think all of them are racist,
Mm.
and and I know this could be considered like libel probably, but probably also Harry has growing up in that family probably has, and he dressed up like a Nazi
Oh yes.
once, so
Yep. I'm not surprised.
yeah.
Elizabeth, who's now dead, did like did the Heil Hitler salute one time. There's footage of that as well too. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. So I could definitely, yeah. So Harry dressed up as a Nazi, just like no, I can see that.
Yeah, I know it was 20 years ago, but
Mm.
still.
Oh, do you remember the time you could actually dress up as Nazi 20 years ago? But now you dress up as Nazi, people think you're one. Ah!
Uh,
I did met someone who was upset that like because it limited your choices of cosplay that the Rose City Comic Con, the one in Portland, did actually put out a statement and saying it's like no old
No.
school, no old school like Red Skull or like a Hydra like outfits. It's too close to the real thing that we're banning that as well too.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because if you get allowed like Nazis to be like, oh, I'm just in costume as it were, and they'll just uh be loud and proud as it were in the right setting. And so yeah, just no. Again, with like anti-fascist like actions as it were, don't allow them the platform as it were. So which is why again I don't know why it technically is illegal to punch someone, as it were, but I wouldn't like have any problem with someone that punches a Nazi, as it were. And remember, at least in some jurisdictions, it only costs you $1.
I mean, if you walk like this with a cup of coffee, and there happens to be someone who's Nazi in your way, it's,
Is I mean, yes, it's
Oh.
like it's Stephen Yaxi Lennon, Tommy Robinson, and he just like if all you have is a milkshake and the dude's just harassing you and not letting you go, just toss a milkshake his way. He seems calcium deficient.
yeah, they were just trying to cool him down.
Stephen Jackson Young is a hothead, so that's definitely possible. Yes, exactly.
Oh. I mean, he's clearly intolerant. You got to see if he's also lactose intolerant.
Nigel Farage is just a milkshake. Why are you so afraid of it? Why are you bunkering in your bus, as it were? I mean, Sargon of God's a terrible piece of shit, but at least he just like owns up to that with the fish flying against him and the milkshakes and all. Um, but you know what? There's like one like a little topic that I'm going to like mention in this where because I just saw this in like my YouTube feed of like from like Sam Cedar, Penn Jillette, no, not Penn and Teller. No, it is Penn Jillette.
Yeah,
Penn
Pendulette of Penn and Teller, yes.
Yeah, okay. Hey, is that he kind of like now this he's like dumping the American Libertarian Party, or at least like has to like take it back as like what are these people on about?
Actually, he formally stopped doing stuff for the party a few years back, when they more or less endorsed Trump. But recently,
Yeah.
like within the last year, there was a story about how he's like, yeah, I don't like I don't even identify as a libertarian anymore because like I realize that, in a lot of ways society is good and we should have the government help people.
So, yeah, well, that's the one thing about Penn is that like he did the show Bullshit. That Penn and Teller did Bullshit, and he was always kind of like about the facts, which is how he's an atheist as well too. And so I was like, if the facts say one thing and it backs up by study and proved it, then like, you know what? Here are the facts, which is why he was always pro vaccines. And it was kind of like when like someone from the Libertarian Party was asking him to join to be there for a anti-mask demonstration in Vegas. He was like, "What the hell are you guys on about?" Because like, should there be a mask mandates? Kind of open debate to like pendulum. Should it be the government's job to like do the mask mandates? A bit of open up debate. But the argument against wearing masks, no, there's no good argument against wearing masks. It is a good thing to wear masks. It's a good thing for yourself and others, so that like we stop the spread of this. So you should wear masks. And then it's just
what do you call it? I saw another person who I forget his name. He essentially had a lot of libertarian followings and has moved more towards the libertarian left since then, and like he was talking about that. It's like I am definitely against jailing people for not taking a vaccine. I definitely agree with that. But the exchange for that is that we have to show that we are individually responsible enough to take care of our own selves and the people around us by getting this, by doing this. Like we need to wear masks and take the vaccine when it's available, because that is how we show that we do not need to be governed, that we are handling it on our own.
But it's just like, so it's kind of like, it's a pendulum definitely is soft like identifying as a libertarian, because to many people when you identify as a libertarian, it's just white guys that don't want to be told what to do. It's just like, yeah. So there's that. I have nothing else to add about that. So, because like, the American libertarians were libertarians, they're not real libertarians. I want that word back, because like, Murray Rothbard, you bastard, you hack, you stole the word from us. Okay, you can lament that the word of liberal has changed over time and stuff like that, but like, we did not play any part of it. It's just like people did not want to be called socialists, so they called themselves liberals. And
Well, no, Rothbard stole libertarian long before liberal became the current word liberal. And socialists never called themselves liberals.
Yeah, because one of the core foundations of liberal as a party was at least nominally supporting capitalism.
Yeah, not nominally. I mean, that's all liberalism was for. It was built around the exchange of power, the transfer of power from the aristocracy to the bourgeoisie.
It's so odd with the terminology, because in my country, like a social libertarian, that's called an anarchist.
Yeah.
And then there are and then there's communist, which is the kind. My dad calls me a communist, which is true, but like I'm not like authoritarian, which is why I have always said no. I'm not a communist in that sense. I'm an anarchist because I.
Fuck Stalin.
Yeah, exactly. Which does bring up a question that I want to ask. At least ask to like you, Joe, and Ely, as it were. But wait, I just remembered. Let's take the rest of our patrons. I'm just going to go off the names that are scrolling down at the bottom, which is why we have our wonderful friends of Joe and Ely here. Is the second Sunday of the month Patreon show. I probably already mentioned that. But to take the rest of the patrons that we have right now, Thank you to Marty Von Rack, Ely, thank you, Mithro, and the Fuck Boys, and Joe. Oh, and no Tim, but that's okay. Tim, you're still awesome, and we love you though. And like, yeah, thank you for giving us money. I don't know why you do this as well too. We'll just use what little we need for like keeping it at the for the Zoom subscriptions were, and like John Bravo does whatever he does with the rest of it as well. Like give it to like people in need.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was like asked this question, and this probably will like we'll bring this up like next week or somewhere with that. But it's kind of like someone is wondering my thoughts on private property. Which I think if anyone is like is going to ask me that question is like, what's my thoughts on private property? How long do you got? So do you want the short answer or the long answer?
Bad.
First off,
Bad.
how do you define private property? Because that's going to affect my thoughts. Because a lot of people have a very wrong description on what that is.
Yeah. So I should like ask that a follow-up question.
Like I'm super for you having stuff. I just don't want
That's
you
personal
to have
property.
stuff. Yeah, I just don't want you to have stuff that other people need to live, and then you keep them in bondage by giving them a little bit of that stuff at a time.
Yeah, so it was like, yeah, definitely. Have no problem with people having stuff like personal property, as were your car, your computer, like this thing and that thing, as were. Car, maybe.
I was gonna say I have mixed feelings on the car.
Yeah.
In the current society, I definitely get you having a car.
Yeah.
I do hope that within a reasonable amount of time, the infrastructure can be changed over to something more communal. But you know,
It won't be
I
because
suspect that is not
people in
the
power
case.
don't want that.
Yeah, people in power don't want that. And funny enough, I was like having a conversation with like a friend of mine last night about this, about the car culture sort of thing too. And because like I did have friends that like live in like certain parts of like Indiana, as well as northern Indiana, and their town that they live in doesn't have sidewalks. There's not like places that you can like actually conveniently and comfortably walk down roads as were too. So it's a car focus as were. As a lot of people places cities are car focused because they just assume everyone's gonna have a car in the USA, I should say. But the reason why this city does not put in sidewalks, they don't want the bad people to come over from the other city to their city. So they don't.
That is so sort of. I can't.
Welcome to America.
Yeah, the what do you call it? The car culture in the United States is arguably deadlier and more harmful to us than even our gun culture, which is real bad.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've never heard a news story about a 4-year-old
more-
shooting himself in the face with a car.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, car accidents are
They are more deadly.
Just more deadly and more common than. There's definitely something to be said for cars being more useful, but the way that our society is built, you know, assuming we could narrow down and actually have a proper public transportation and walkable cities and whatnot, that wouldn't necessarily be the case over gun culture, but you know, the car culture is part of what keeps us from doing that. So
I love our metro in Copenhagen. It's the best thing that we have ever done for like public transport in Denmark is the metro, because I live between two stations, so I could just when I'm going into the city, I don't have to take a cab anymore to go into the center of the city, which is so nice and so much cheaper. And it is quite expensive to use the metro, but it's so useful, and I can use it on my own. I can just it's like, and and it's a big reason why I don't want to move from this apartment, because it's like
Hmm.
between two stations.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like I said before, that's a main reason that like my brothers decided to pick on this apartment as well too. It was available at the time, and it was a three-bedroom apartment that was available open at the time, and within our price ranges as well too. Um, and but like it was also so convenient that it was between the state highway and the federal highway as well too. And so there is like two convenient bus routes and nearby that like can get me and my younger brother to Seattle because we both don't drive. We none. I don't even think I don't know if my younger brother has a driver's license or I definitely don't. It's when was the last time I drove? I don't know. Um, and then but that's a problem with like the USA as it is. There's the assumption that everyone drives as well too. Not only for like cities of how they plan things, they're just like just going to assume everyone has a car, so they'll just like if there's sidewalks, whatever, it'll probably be only for like the parks if there are parks, or for the main roads if that. But then for the rest of the time, it's just like no, they're just like you're probably going to just
There are
drive
places where
wherever.
you functionally cannot walk in the U.S.
Yeah, exactly. But like even like so my dad this was 20 years ago, so it's like my dad suddenly like had like his insurance, car insurance jumped up by $300. And he's like, what the fuck? So he called Progressives like, why is like what's wrong with my plan as to where how do I am charged like $300 car? Oh, okay, there's a change of policy. Well, how's there a change of policy? I didn't want to change the policy. Well, we had a new driver. Well, you have a new driver on your policy, so that's why the $300 more. What new driver? Your son. Which son? Jonathan. He turned 18, right? Yes. And so he's a new driver. My
No.
son Jonathan is
Sure
not a
isn't.
driver. What? He doesn't even have his license. What? Tito doesn't have their driver's license. Well, my Tito son doesn't have a driver's license. And that's when my dad switched to insurance. They were around back then, 20 years ago, whatever. So it's just like,
that is, but I will say, if I lived outside of Copenhagen, I would
yeah.
have more trouble getting around, because
Mhm.
buses are not accessible in Denmark.
Yeah, that's always the problems in like rural places where and another friend also like was like is disabled and wondering if like okay, there's kind of like as best as there are benefit systems that like she can probably like get on or take advantage of, and that's another discussion as it were too. But does she look into it and figure out okay, she can because of her disability she can't get the housing, but the housing that she can get is like out in the boonies or like in the ghetto as it were too, and it's just like but like the medical service she needs to access that is provided by the state those doctors that like are in that program are in the city, and so it's kind of like I can choose to get free housing, but then live in a very like isolated place, and have to like struggle to get commute to where my doctors are, or I can just like pay out of my pocket for like living close to where the doctors are, but have to pay rent and very expensive rent because I'm paying like getting an apartment near the city and so it's like kind of like how like Joanna Robertson said her latest begging bowl, which I updated in like charity links that page, is that like yeah the SSDI is just there to like designed to like kill you because like and inadvertently kill you. They don't want to actively like kill you as it were too by just actually doing harm to you directly. No, it's the inadvertent harm of just like not providing you the things you need and you just die on your own because then it's not the responsibility of the state for killing you. Uh,
Yeah.
the benefit system in this like country is just terrible. It's just mean tested to hell to like designed to like keep people as many people off it as possible and not actually help people. Law. Um. Oh, I just remembered something. Aaron, the Kama Sutra scholar, has like posted on Facebook, update to like situation of our friend Joey Violin deer. So I want to like find that post and read that out. So just like do updated one. And I should probably also maybe check to see like if that all that information was also like mentioned in the GoFundMe. Man, she posts a lot, so I'm gonna like try to find it. But I think the main thing is that like is like yeah, the money that like Joey Firelame dear our friend got from like GoFundMe, it was been a big help, but it has been all used up. And this as well as like everything else, though they'll still need Joey Firelame dear will still need money for a bunch of things, and I think then I think I should actually check the GoFundMe to see if it's been updated. So hold on, but like. I think Joey's now on like food stamps, but like there's still like a lot of pending bills that like they need like to like help with. So like yeah, trade links off page it has like Joey Fire like there's like GoFundMe, and is there an update section? Joseph? No, there's no update as well too. No, this doesn't look like an update. Yeah, yeah. The GoFundMe itself's not updated, so I'll try to find like Aaron's screens posts. But yeah, the Joey has like a place that they're saying that, but like, and like the GoFundMe money has already been used up, and like they just like need more in order to live, and still have like pending bills in order to like pay for, and like medical bills as well. Okay, here's the post. As, but oh yeah, and then like she is like getting some food from like a charity that's like done it, but it's like only like once a month, so it's like it's great that there's like a organization that is trying to help Joey and give the money as well too, but like it's like yeah, it's like they can only do so much. It's not that like there's nothing wrong with charity as well too, because like charities try to do the best that they can, but there's like it only goes so far. So like Joey will need more. Joey does have like a $2,000 like electric bill that's like overdue, and hopefully the electricity doesn't get shut off. Um. I think the water thing is like fixed. They are able to have like a 2 space heaters and like a coffee pot, grill, toaster, and oven to cook. Their health is okay. It looks like they can now
Okay,
exercise. Yeah. So okay, and they're trying to like get like a 1 bedroom apartment and like a income based like housing as well. And like so they're getting some help and like they're okay enough, but of course with everything else it's just like yeah, that's the GoFundMe still there, and because yeah, it's just like really difficult for like them to survive, so a bit of an update as well. So yeah. What else is there to talk about?
Let's see. How strong do you think you'd have to be to beat a bear in an arm wrestling contest?
I wouldn't want to try.
The bear.
That's a good point. What kind of bear?
I don't know. how
European
strong-
brown bear.
Don't have any idea how strong bears' arms are.
Very, because they're not humans. Humans are surprisingly weak.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. We're just hairless apes.
No, it's more than that. We had to make a lot of sacrifices in order to get these big, stupid skulls. And one of those is that we are ridiculously weak.
Mm-hmm.
And also, babies are born very underdeveloped to get the head out of the cervix. So
Yeah.
So basically, you're done being pregnant like 6 to 9 months after the baby's born.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I mean, it's just like there's a certain point where a baby sort of becomes aware of their surrounding, sort of interacts more with people around them.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, they really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and compared to pretty much any other mammal, we are blind, deaf, and anosmic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we as babies, when we're just born, we need all the protection that we need, as it were. Yeah, so it's just like, and hey, it's looking like we're joined by like Isaiah Taylor to just pop in for a minute.
I like,
Hey,
hey, how's it going, guys? I was like really, really sick this weekend, so I was like, fuck.
oh,
But I decided,
Just pop in to say hi.
say hi. You guys can't get rid of the only black guy that easily.
Yeah, this isn't the first act of the horror movie.
It's not like we were
Oh.
trying anything or planning anything.
No,
No,
I was being funny.
exactly.
Yeah.
I would like a reverse. Is there a movie that reverses that trope of the?
Maybe a
Get
black
Out?
episode- Oh. Yeah.
I mean, it inverts a lot of the stuff on that, but let's see.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Oh wait,
Alright.
the shark movie, the intelligent shark movie with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Kinda.
Deep Sea
He's
Blue?
not. He's not
Deep
the
Blue
soul.
Sea?
He's not.
No, he's not the soul
survivor.
survivor, but he does live to the end.
That's LL
He
Cool
does.
J,
Is it?
by the way.
Yes, that was LA Cool. That was LA Cool J in that movie. But
I never actually saw the movie except for the very end.
But Samuel L. Jackson was in the movie, and he also died as well too.
Wait,
And-
what?
It's a strange thing. So apparently, they were originally going to like film a scene where like Samuel Jackson dies, but like the director's like, actually, you know what? Well, I got an LA lost connection somehow. Also, so
Oh, dear.
hopefully there's Ellie back as well too.
Yeah.
And so like I think the director's like, oh, no, Samuel L. Jackson, I think we're done with you. I have something else planned for like killing you off as well too. And so he just like did like a digital shark to just come out of the water and just like jump and eat like Samuel L. Jackson right then and there. It's a very silly scene.
I mean, to be fair, they did let the black guy live at least halfway to the movie before they killed the man. Okay,
Yes.
so, like movies like that, you gotta have like two black guys to like. We gotta kill one first. And we gotta see in that movie.
Because a black guy has to die. So the only way a black guy can survive is if you have two.
No, because see in that movie, you have two black guys. You have LL Cool J, and then you have Samuel L. Jackson. LL Cool J is like, man, science, that's for like white folks. Man, where are you gonna do science, dog? And then
And why is he on that ship?
fuck, I forgot his name.
Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson was like the nerdy black guy, and it's like,
Yeah, the whole that is probably one of my favorite lamp shading scenes, because he like goes into a whole speech about like, okay, I've been through this before. We're gonna make it, and here's how.
Actually, I got done watching Space Camp. Have you guys seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
Can't say that I have.
It's from the 80s, because of course.
Okay.
It has Leah Thompson in it.
Okay.
Joaquin Phoenix is actually in it too. Like it's a lot of people that we know about now. Although his name is Leif Phoenix, because that was his name before he changed it, I guess. So
Yeah. And I remember still that like Joaquin Phoenix is like really too.
Oh, they actually go to space.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
on the spaceship.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll be surprised if like a space camp movie is not about like them going to space at some point or another. Not that it's out of the realm of possibilities, as it were. But if there's a space movie, I'm expecting there to be space in it as well too,
And it's an 80s movie through and through.
including the soundtrack. Because like
Yep.
when
Especially the soundtrack.
that's one thing about like 80s American movies. You can tell it's the 80s just from the soundtrack alone sometimes as well too.
Let's see,
Hey,
Kate
that's what-
Capshaw. Why is that name familiar?
Keep.
Oh,
I think.
Temple of Doom.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Leah Thompson.
Oh yeah.
Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember that now.
Speaking of media that that we've been ingesting, I know a while back, John, you had recommended Dungeon Crawler Carl,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the same sort of against the power sort of stuff series. I hope it stays and stays good in that. I'm only on the second book.
It is very
Red
much
Rising.
against the power.
Oh no! I've caught up with that. Then I picked up the Red Rising series, and I'm on the second book of that.
Oh. Let's see, Red Rising. That's the one that starts. He's a miner on Mars.
A miner.
Yeah, that does
miner
not stay
on
good.
Mars. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it has a very disappointing ending.
Anyone watching the Super Bowl tonight?
No, I'm going to be driving.
Okay.
It's going to be another New Year's Eve for me.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it to see if Taylor Swift is gonna be there.
That's right. Apparently, there's like a conspiracy theory about Taylor Swift and like why the Chiefs are so popular now and so good now. Oh, because like apparently she's dating the quarterback, I swear.
What? I mean, she isn't.
Okay.
She is for the last, I don't know, 12 years has been the biggest pop star, and like the guy she's dating is like possibly the best tight end ever, certainly in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that both of their fames is being inflated
By the other.
because they're in a relationship
Right.
for politics is so ridiculous.
I knew the conspiracy theory is going to go to politics of some kind. I'm just wondering at what point it does it get to the Jews.
It's like, no, these people, like,
Taylor
the
Swift.
reason why everyone's so
Okay,
interested-
this is literally just the cheerleader dating the football player in high school. They just happen to hang out in the same circles.
like these are just two very famous people that happen to be dating and seem to genuinely care about each other, which is nice. It's just nice.
I've been around for 31 years. I've never seen our politics this goofy. Where at this point now, people are saying, "Oh, hey, Taylor Swift must be a psyop." It's like, okay, I guess I don't fucking know. I think you're fucking stupid, but okay.
It's
Just because you've disengaged from pop culture doesn't mean that stuff isn't happening.
Part of me wants to ask is, are these people jealous that she's popular?
that may be it. That may be part of it.
Are they angry that this really attractive woman is dating?
I think they're angry that a woman has power in the form of
There's
money.
that too.
All right.
And also, there's like I think part of it as well that they either don't care about the Chiefs or the Chiefs is better than their team as well. That's kind of always play a part of it, or it's like they believe that like Taylor Swift or the Chiefs do not deserve their popularity in some ways. So with the Taylor Swift thing, not deserving her popularity, that's misogyny there. I bet in some ways.
I mean, what do you call it? It doesn't help that on the other end, Kelsey like legit had he took an endorsement from Pfizer, so you know they hate modern medicine because Daddy Trump told them to.
Oh, that's right.
Instead of Daddy Warbucks, it's Daddy Fuckbucks.
I'm gonna be honest. I want one day Taylor Swift and Beyonce to perform. I
don't think that's ever going to happen.
I want them to do it the same way that Rihanna and Shakira did. Did that whole like thing that they did.
Yeah, that would be something. Hey, no, I can I think I can see Taylor Swift and Beyonce doing it. Well, because remember back in 2009 when like Kanye West, before we realized that like actually Kanye West, you really need help. You really need help as well. He would like. Taylor Swift received an award at the VMAs in 2009, but like Kanye West said, "Oh, I'll let you finish, Swift, but like, I gotta know that like Beyonce, your video was the best video of all time." Interrupting Taylor Swift during her speech, the acceptance speech of her reward, to say like, "Yeah, your video won the reward, but Beyonce's video is better." Beyonce being a class act, like when she was on her stage, because she won her reward for her music video too. Apparently, it's a great music video, and she said how she remembered when she was in Destiny's Child and they got her first reward, her first nomination at a award show, and how nervous that she was, and would love but cherish that moment when they won a reward at a first act as Destiny's Child. So then Beyonce invited Taylor Swift onto the stage for her to give her speech uninterrupted as well. So
that's like if Taylor Swift and Beyonce performed, that would be like an Afro-Aryan Power Hour moment right there.
probably, yeah.
But it's like, is it because Taylor Swift also denied the Republicans to use one of her songs in their campaign or something?
Wouldn't surprise me.
It's a bunch of things. What do you call it? She endorsed Biden in 2020. She's an
independent woman who has dated multiple men.
She said to a lot of her fans that you should go out and vote without saying who to vote for. Although I think either before or after that she had mentioned that she had endorsed Biden. But and because her fans tend to be younger women, and because both women and the young tend to favor the Democratic Party, it was a big boost for voter registration for the Democratic Party.
I agree. Although I do think like Taylor doesn't really understand that many young people are not really don't want to vote for Biden anymore. There's some privilege there.
Yeah, I get it, but
yeah, it's just like trust me, I do
You need better candidates.
I agree,
definitely.
But the system won't allow that, and
it's just very antiquated, and it's designed that way for like on purpose.
I don't know. I feel like the system definitely would have let Biden duck out after one. I think this is just he wanted to be president longer. And because he's the incumbent, I don't know for sure if the Republican Party would have just washed through just anyone the same way the Democratic Party is with Biden, but
yeah. But like, yeah, I do agree, Ellie. We need better candidates as well, but like, go ahead.
I mean, it's not. You just need someone who's a bit younger, maybe, and it's like, of course, it doesn't affect your ability to lead just because you're older, but it does.
It does affect. Yeah. It's just that our system, it's like there's the designated next guy in line.
Yeah.
Ellie, you gotta understand though, like our system is like. You gotta like understand, and I don't know what it is in like Denmark, but you gotta like understand like our system was like our political system was based on like bullshit, right? It's like so the electoral college was simply designed to make sure like slave states were, states where I would have been a slave, would have had equal say, and we've like our system is just like it's so antiquated, it doesn't work. But yet, but people keep it going because it's like it makes them a lot of money. Like they don't give a fuck. That's why every time we try to get like a young person in there, they're kind of just forced out because of all the jaded fucking old people in there.
But
hold on. Like someone asked Nancy Pelosi or something one time about like, hey, the kids are all, they all want social, they're all for the socialism. What do you think about that? And Nancy Pelosi was like, we're just capitalists. That's just how it's gonna be to the end of time. Let's not fix it. Let's not at least like fix it and alter it. We're just gonna be fucking all the wealthy people are up here, everyone's down here. It's because God or Jesus made it that fucking way, and everything's just gonna be okay, and we don't need to change the system because I benefited from it, and you can benefit from it too.
Yeah, I
Fuck
know
that.
that, but there's one thing where I'm always sort of baffled about how long your process of of electing a new president is. It's like over a year. In my country, and elect and the period where you can sort of, what's it called, a campaign is 3 weeks before an election.
Yeah.
It used to be shorter, but it's gotten longer over the years. Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of money that is in the system and the amount of money that the election speculation industry makes off of, making the election start the day after the election.
Mm-hmm. I mean, also, it's a whole ecosystem and all the thing. Like, I imagine why there's so many debates for all of the candidates as were, is because those debates, I bet they do well enough in ratings as were too. But Iowa did have reasons for why they were first and they had the caucus, because used to take them a long time to get all the things there. That's the thing. Also, caucuses. To try to explain to someone outside the U.S. what the hell is a caucus, because even many USA citizens don't know what the caucus is as well too, is I'm trying to remember. You just go to a place and stand in a room and go to.
It's a complicated argument that takes 7 hours.
Yeah. Well, yeah, in that, and they also stuff their fat fucking gullets with fried processed food to be in touch with the real Americans. I can't be in touch with the real American until I eat this fucking corn dog the size of my fucking arm.
They want to see it. They want to be I'm just like you. I can have a beer with you, and it's just it's okay. I don't like beer. That's fine.
My autistic ass could never be the president because I wouldn't do any of that bullshit. Hey, I can eat a salad and some water. You want to talk then?
Mm-hmm. But then also, and remember that it's the parties themselves that set up the primary system and then a caucus system as well too, and all other for all other positions, if I'm correct on this, is our senators, congress people, and that sort of thing. There's just the primary elections, and that's run by the individual states and their individual jurisdictions and how they run it, and there are 50 different states, and they have all their own laws on how to do that for good and bad, because you have states where it's mail-in voting, yay, awesome, yes, let's just all do that. And then red states can put so many restrictions on voting as they wanted to prevent the non-white people from voting as well, and cats.
In Florida, my governor is so stupid that he actually, even though he won, he wants an election police force. I don't even know what the fuck that even is.
Browncoats, Gestapo.
It's bunch of Klansmen on horses.
Yeah,
scaring away voters.
Us liberals, we might start getting.
It's to make sure you check off the right box.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Wait,
just like in Russia.
I think that was Georgia, not Florida, that passed the law that you can't hand out water to people waiting in line.
Yeah, It was Georgia with Brian Kemp, who's the illegitimate governor of Georgia, because he was the Secretary of State in 2018, and there was so many hinky stuff in that election as it were too, because he still was serving his office of duties as the Secretary of State, managing the elections.
Have you guys seen a picture of Brian Kemp? He looks exactly like he would be a slave owner.
I can imagine. So, well, he's white enough, obviously. So he passed that blood test. But it's also part of the reason why unfortunately, even when you talk to some Red Bulls, they will acknowledge the problem of the electoral college and say yes, it has to be abolished somehow. But there's one liberal on Steve Shy's Patron hangout years ago. He's a cool dude for moments and part. His name's Justin. He said in order to get rid of the electoral college within the system itself is a constitutional amendment, and he has said flat out that is too hard to do. He's not wrong. He's it is extremely hard to pass a constitutional amendment because you need 38 states to ratify the constitutional amendments, and then there has to be like a constitutional assembly or something like that to like get it implemented. And we haven't even got equal rights put into Constitution.
Yeah,
There's-
there is an interstate plan that might have a chance at it, but as far as I know, they're still at the 20% left to that will take at least as much work as the other percent, which essentially is saying like all of these states agree that if for some reason the electoral college or the electoral system has somebody that lost the popular vote,
Mhm.
even the states that their electors are supposed to go with that, they would go for the other side.
Mhm.
Yeah, our whole system is just fucked.
But actually, what you brought up about the electoral system, the electoral college system, is even worse than to make sure that the slave states stay slave states. It legit was the if for some reason our people vote in a way that is bad, there is still a safeguard. You know, if the entire state still like votes for the wrong guy, if somebody votes a representative that will outlaw being rich, there's still somebody that can be like, well, no, this other person instead.
At the
And those
federal
people are always picked by the parties. So
At the federal level, the original intention was that you were only able to vote for 1/2 of 1/3 of the branches of government. Everything else was chosen by the elites. You were able to, if you were a rich guy, able to own land, then you
Rich
could
white
vote for the House of Representatives. Otherwise, you had to be so rich that you could then choose, be a member of the state legislature so that you could choose the senators, or be able to travel to a central location on horseback to be part of the electoral college, or get a lifetime appointment from the president and the Senate, who are both not chosen by the people, to the federal judiciary. It was an entirely undemocratic system meant to favor the wealthy.
So,
And-
when people say that democracy, no, we weren't. We never were.
No, we never have been.
We've always
No.
been an oligarchy. We're cause like I don't know, cause like as
It's a
black,
very liberal system.
you know, we've always been someone's bitch, someone's slave, slave all the damn time. We're always slaves.
Yeah.
Although I feel like a lot of white people are waking up to know how fucked up it is too, so that's good.
yeah, it's too bad that a vast majority of them are blaming the wrong people about why it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's just, I just think how exhausted people is once it comes around to actually voting for a president, if they have to sort of see all of these like debates and stuff. I would be sick of it after like that many months.
Yeah, I fully like understand how people who don't find politics an interesting hobby to follow, like I do,
Yeah,
I can
same here.
understand why they hate it and just want to disengage.
Yeah.
Especially
Blame
if you're doing well enough that it doesn't matter to you, or you're doing so poorly that it doesn't matter to you.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
but it's also like with, in the primaries, your candidate the candidate you voted for, if you're the state that votes first, they can say a lot of bullshit before it's time for the election.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think liberals just like accept that like their politicians or that when they're campaigning will just say bullshit, and they will like make campaign promises that they don't intend, because after Biden was elected and the Democrats did actually win both like Senate seats in Georgia to like have a narrow ownership of the Senate, and still do. We got $1,400 checks even though Biden explicitly promised $2,000 checks for like COVID relief,
But we already got $600.
Yes, several liberals said, I knew we were only going to get $1,400, so you know that the politicians lie. And one liberal says,
but you know that everything that's ever been said in a campaign is bullshit on some levels, because it's meant to get you to vote for that person. But what I think about is if a candidate does something really egregious, like it comes out that they have done something really bad, and you have already voted for that candidate, and you can't vote for someone else. That must be pretty sort of frustrating if it's like, oh damn, we didn't vote for that guy.
Yeah, I mean, there was like someone I did on Friend who said like when the accusations that Tara Reid had against like not the actress, someone else had against like Joe Biden for like him sexually assaulting her, and I was like they were liberals saying like, oh come on, but like Trump raped a lot more people, which is like, can we please not play the game of which rapist is worse as war too? Okay, Biden sexually assaulted like Read, not rape her, blah. But also it's like someone said, come on, every president has like raped someone before. It's just like that's not a good thing. It's
oh
just
my
like,
goodness. Like that's thankfully a slight exaggeration, but
I don't know.
oh my goodness. But
it's you like
I mean, the slave-owning presidents definitely all raped people.
I would definitely.
Looking at you, Thomas Jefferson.
I mean, if nothing else, there's now I forget his name. There's evidence, or at least evidence to suggest that we've legit had a asexual president.
Oh,
Zachary Taylor Thomas.
Have we had any
I believe so.
Have we had any atheist presidents ever?
Not openly.
not
Well,
openly,
no,
no.
not openly, but like in secret.
Zachary Taylor Thomas. Zachary. Jesus.
Not
I just
Zachary
combined a president with a kid from the 90s.
That sounded right though. So
Zachary Taylor. I don't think it's Zachary Taylor. Yeah, he died too. I think it was, James Buchanan.
We had a couple of bachelor presidents, and
No, we only had one.
of them. Okay. I thought
There might have been
no.
widowers.
We had
but,
we had one bachelor and one divorcee. Like
that would be Grover
not,
Cleveland.
Not like currently still divorced. Not married. We had two unmarried presidents.
I know we don't like him now, but one time Richard Dawkins said Obama was an atheist, which I don't know how he came to that.
It's possible.
Because
he definitely played up on the thing, but given his educational background and whatnot, there's like everything to believe that he didn't actually believe and just used church for community.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Trump doesn't believe in God either.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, it's like that is also show I don't.
Yeah, I don't think Trump believes in God, or at least like he doesn't. I mean, he obviously has to toe the line for his fucking base, but I think personally, I don't think he really believes in God.
I mean, there's
not even a
every
little bit.
possibility that he believes in a God that is him.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year is gonna. Go ahead.
It's but then again, the God of the evangelicals are so weird. It's like it's just like that's like a capitalist power fantasy. The God of the Christian, like.
Yeah, there's what do you call it? And heck, if you are willing to slap the label of atheist on deist, probably like 3 of our first 5 presidents were that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently, I said like Scott Greer on like Twitter once said, "God is dead has been replaced by trans people."
Good.
which like people on Tumblr was like, wow, congrats, yay! And like another one said, hi, for one, welcome our new trans god. And another one said, I love the implications that the singular Christian god has been replaced by every trans person. We're now a entity.
Well, if you believe God created everything, then God technically created trans people, and
oh yes,
and since
Male and female made he them.
The sheer idea
if it was true that all trans people were God, there are some people that would have been spited by now.
Yeah,
the pure idea that
I just don't
just people asking you to treat other people like humans and to give them proper respect is asking you to worship them is so painful.
Yep.
But that's because they want to be worshipped.
yes.
Oh my god.
Treat us as you want to be treated.
I just never understood the obsession they have. Like here in Florida where I live, I know it's sad, but I just don't like understand like why not just talk to a trans person, get to know who they are? Why this hostility and this bellicose this is that even a word, bellicoseness?
No, that's a good word. It means warlike or just angry and ready to fight.
Yeah, why
It's a
this
distraction from the other things that are going on that they don't want people to notice. So they point out a scapegoat and then they direct people at them instead of people noticing all the other crap that's going on.
Right.
Yeah. There has to be someone that's ruining their lives, and it can't be rich people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, and this is how I learned, and because my dad said he said that gay people were an abomination, and when he said that, I was like, what does that even mean? Like, because like I know what an abomination is, but I'm just like, how are gay folks like what? Huh? What?
And apparently, gay folks were like blamed for the fall of Roman Empire.
Well, that's because the Roman Empire allowed some men with high social status to do stuff to men with lower social status because that's how they thought of sex. Therefore, Rome fell. It had nothing to do with climate change. It was climate change.
It's like, man.
I'll say it was a bunch of things, but yeah.
I studied a lot. Like I like history, and I like studied because like during like the '60s, right, when we were going to space, there was something called the Lavender Scare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like gay folks were like blacklisted, and I'm just like, okay, but
James Webb participated in that.
Yeah, that's why there was controversy of naming the telescope after him, and I'm just like, okay, well, there's people who are gay, and you like if you want to fuck some girl and get 20 kids, that's on you. You can do that. If people want to be gay, let them be gay. Like we're all like, okay, cool. That's the way how I see it. I'm like,
no, some people just want to control everything about everyone around them.
I guess. Yeah. I'm like, if you're a straight man and you wanna find some poor woman to shack up with for the rest of your life and shit out 10 kids and be a good Christian, whatever the fuck, you go right ahead. No one's gonna stop you. But can gay people and trans people also live too in peace and do what they want? Is that so fucking hard?
Inshallah.
I'm sorry, I'm getting mad.
Yeah, you should.
That's okay.
And that is
maddening.
a good note to end the show on.
Sure.
Because I need to get ready to go drive.
20 minutes.
Ah, yes.
All right, so Joe, either you want to plug anything like that?
Not. I mean, I still have my cat accounts, but to be honest, the lack of interaction kind of makes me not really lose that much.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a pity, but it's like, it can just be so demotivating, and I know it shouldn't be about that, but that is that's the internet that has trained you to sort of expect interaction with your posts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will have more on it next month because that's how long it will take to actually get it made. But I commissioned an episode of Tulak the Barbarian's what do you call it? Building character series.
Nice.
Okay.
As
He's genuinely interesting. He does a lot of Elden Ring content on Twitch now,
Nice.
but he's got a bunch of D&D content where he essentially builds a character using 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons of pop culture things. He's scaling back that series, but I what do you call it? Supported a episode of it that he will be making RoboCop.
oh,
Nice.
Yeah. It should
So,
be really fun.
Warforged?
I don't know yet. We'll see. I mean, if I had to guess, either Warforged, the Remnant thing, because essentially he was brought back from the dead, or custom lineage if he needs a feat to make it work. But given that RoboCop is covered in armor, it would be weird not to use Warforged because that's actually a really good character benefit.
I mean, that's all Warforged are, is basically living armor. So.
yeah. And oh yeah, that's right. It is like Black History Month.
Yes.
And they picked the shortest month to have Black History Month.
Of
too.
course they did.
Every month, every year. That is the case.
A bit, I get. Well, since it is Black History Month, I'm actually cosplaying as Guy Bluford, the first Black African American person in space.
I saw that. That was really cool.
Nice.
Oh, and you got the name tag for it too.
And he flew on Challenger. Well, before.
I was going to say.
Oh, nice.
Yes, nice. And it's, actually, I noticed your Star Trek shirt right now. So in a way, you are technically cosplaying as well too right now.
Well, this is my blue one, which is I got this shirt like over a decade ago, and it still holds up a bit.
Yeah, that's cool. And so, as a teller, not only are you going to be cosplaying as the first like African American in space as well too, you also have 2 YouTube channels, Sinister Intelligence and like the Autistic Modern Society, and you also have a Instagram of like Zaya Taylor 90 as well.
Yeah, 60.
60. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, you can check out like Zaya Taylor and those little places as were. I'm Summer Geek on Twitter, co-host Blue Sky. Even though I get very little interaction on Blue Sky too. Tumblr and on YouTube and Twitch, and I'm going to be streaming after I get off this call. So don't forget to share the links up page. I haven't put the links into the chat because like. They haven't been anyone chatting in the chat, and so it's just like been gone for 2 weeks, and then like we had the fuck up like earlier today, and so it's like that's not surprising. Next week I have something planned. We're going to have interesting discussion in the base. Oh, come on! Been lurking on Sunday, so I can't lurk, but pop in like with which for the John for thumbs ups and love and solidarity. Thank you, Comrade Abba, for dropping in and saying hi. Good to see you. Like, glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. And thank you for dropping in and saying hi. Much appreciated as well. And even if others are just lurking and like can't watch it live, it's totally understandable. You can at least watch the recaps where the comments are somehow disabled for some reason. Well, whatever. But you can still
Why
watch
would they
the
be
old
disabled?
I've checked on the past like live streams as it were too. The comments.
Oh yeah, they're just turned off.
Huh.
I can't.
Yeah, I think
They shouldn't be.
They
shouldn't be.
Because like I would encourage people like even if you don't watch us live, you can like watch the reruns and stuff like that. And there's something interesting that we had mentioned and talked about like you want to like ask us where too. You can leave a comment if we can leave a comment. You can leave a comment on them as we'll talk about it in a future show as well too. And yeah, there's something planned on like next week I have. But like John Brockman, you're part of another podcast, aren't you?
Yes, Dungeons and Debacles, where we play D&D. It's a lot of fun. Very different from this. Well, not very different. We're just sitting around having fun. We're cops now, which is bad. But we are fighting an ancient evil, so it's okay that we occasionally do cop stuff.
Okay, so are you Fox Mulder? Because when I think of cops fighting people, I think of,
Well, I am convinced that one of my fellow party members is a Dracula because he talks with that accent.
Oh man, my the one I play, which I'll be playing later tonight. We had a character who is a Sharite, and she's what? Well, no. The player is a she. The character is a he. Is like super like paranoid about vampires, and like every time there was like somebody who was doing something shady, the character was like, "Oh, I bet he's a vampire." And then like the storyline finally gets us to like meet a vampire, and immediately they're like, "Yeah, this vampire's awesome." Because apparently the vampire was also a follower of Shar. So just immediately, like, we finally meet a vampire and they're bestest buddies. It's so funny.
Yep. And I agree, Comrade Ibot. Only acceptable way to play cops is if you have the spandex and the cape. And, like, with stick out tongue emoji. Yep, okay. That will work for me. But, yeah, so... thank you for everyone for watching and listening. Thank you again so much, Joe and Ely, for being good friends to the show and for like coming and hanging out this much. These is always fun. I barely prepare for these things as well too, but like we still manage to like fill in 90 minutes and chatting is always like.
Oh, it's very easy.
Yes. So yeah, that's it. All that's left to be said is like. Take care of yourselves. Practice self-care. Make sure you eat. Make sure you drink.
let's go Taylor Swift for this. Let's go Taylor Swift, everybody. Super Bowl.
And
Taylor Swift photobombing the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And if you're watching the hand-aid competition game, make sure to like celebrate or like enjoy yourself responsibly as well too. Have a designated driver if you're going to be drinking alcohol. And take care of everyone.
Can we just say how big and goofy the Super Bowl is when it comes to like the Super Bowl is like the greatest show of capitalism on earth.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
We can talk about that another time, but we're ending the show.
Yep.
All right. Bye bye everybody.